Hey BookTube, this is the Try a Chapter tag. I'm Jen and I talk about audiobooks, and you know that Try a Chapter tag thing that everybody does? I just thought I would try it, because why not? I mean, it'll translate to audiobooks the same way it will to print books. So in order to do this, I have chosen 6 books, and I am going to listen to 15 minutes of each one and decide what I want to read. And then I'll tell you about the one that I pick. They're all romances. 2 are on the Audible romance package that have been sitting there in my library for a while. So I either need to read them or get rid of them. And the other 4 are ones that have just been sitting on this iPod for a long time. They're just sitting in my iTunes. I alternately think, yeah, I'll put that on, I'll take it off, I'll put it on, I'll take it off. You know, you get the idea. It's like go big or go home. Either read the book or get rid of the book. Okay, so I'm going to start out with Eversea, which is the first book in the Butler Cove series by Natasha Boyd. It's narrated on audio by Georgina Marie and Jonathan McLean, and I will read you the synopsis. It's kind of a long synopsis, but I'm going to read you just part of it. An orphaned small-town Southern girl held hostage by responsibility and self-doubt. And a Hollywood A-list megastar on the run from his latest scandal with everything to lose. A chance encounter that leads to an unlikely arrangement and an epic love affair that will change them both forever. There's a lot more here, but I just am going to skip all that and move on to the book. So I'm going to start with that one, and I will get back to you as soon as I am finished with 15 minutes of it. Okay, I went 15 minutes, which was the first chapter of Eversea, Butler Cove, book 1 by Natasha Boyd. Love Georgina Marie. She's the only one I've heard so far, but I already know that I like Jonathan McLean, so I'm good with that. Okay, now, man, that was really hard to turn off. Man, it just grabbed me. It was one of the main characters. I think her name is Carrie, and she's a waitress at a bar, and so she is just going about her evening, and then there's a guy that shows up at the bar, and he orders a hamburger, and he's on his phone. He's really rude because she's a Southern girl, and you just aren't rude. So anyway, she realizes that he's famous, so yeah, it was really hard to stop. I had to look at the clock and go, shoot! It was actually 18 minutes, but yeah, we're gonna call it good. Okay, so this next one is also an Audible romance pick, and it's called Getting Out of Hand by Erin, and it's narrated by Kate Udall. And this sounds really good. This sounds like I might really like it. Genius scientist Mason Riley can cure world hunger, impress the media, and piss off the Vice President of the United States all before breakfast. But he's not sure he can get through his high school class reunion. Then he meets the new girl in town. Adrian Scott loves Sapphire Falls. The sleepy little town has been the perfect place to escape her fast-paced, high-stress lifestyle. Her only plans now include opening her candy shop and living a quiet, drama-free life. Until Mason Riley bids $400 just to dance with her. Mason sure doesn't look or kiss like a genius scientist geek. Oh, there's a big shock. In fact, he makes Adrian's heart pound like nothing she's ever experienced. Passion like this with a guy who travels the world and parties at the White House should probably be a red flag for a girl who wants a simple, boring life. Good thing no one falls in love in a weekend. I'm excited about this one. I love me a guy that's a geek and a rich one, and it just sounds really good. So, okay, 15 minutes on this one. Okay, so I got through 15 minutes of Getting Out of Hand by Erin, narrated by Kate Udall. Not impressed with the narration. I'm not sure why. I have a feeling it's just badly edited. Like, you know, I think there are times when a narrator will stumble over their words, and so they go back and they fix it in the editing process. And I have a feeling it's just not done well. Like, you know, you shouldn't edit out maybe a word, but an entire phrase you should fix. So anyway, it's okay. I feel like I would read it if I had nothing else to read, but, you know, not terribly thrilled about it. So I have a feeling it's not just a geeky romance. It's one of those millionaire romances, so whatever. Okay, so moving on. Now I have Come As You Are by Lauren Blakely. This is narrated by Sebastian and Andy. Sebastian York and Andy Arndt. And here's what the synopsis says. Now this is one that's been on my iPod for a long time. I couldn't have scripted a more perfect night. For one fantastic evening at a masquerade party in the heart of Manhattan, I'm not the millionaire everyone wants a piece of. Fine, multi-millionaire. But who's counting all those commas? Not me, and not the most intriguing woman I've ever met who happens to like dancing, witty banter, and hot, passionate, up against the wall sex as much as I do. Oh boy. There's no need for names or business cards, and that's why I'm eager to get to know her more, since my mystery woman seems to like me for me, rather than for my huge bank account. Everything's coming up aces until the next day when things get a little complicated. Newsflash, a lot complicated. It goes on from there, and that's what he is saying about her. And she says, he's charming, brilliant, and incredible lover, and right now I want to stab fate in the eyeballs. I've had one goal I've been working toward, and lo and behold, my mystery man is the very person who stands between me and my dream job. A job I desperately need since my hard knock life has nothing in common with his star-kissed one. But it's time to put that fairy tale night behind me and focus on learning what makes him tick. Too bad it turns out his quirks are my quirks, and his love affair with New York matches mine. And as we spend our days together, I discover something else that feels like a cruel twist of fate. I'm falling for this naughty Prince Charming, and that's not an ending I can write to our story. Okay, this makes me think that she works for him. Like they have this evening together, and then they find out he's her boss. So I don't know about these millionaire romances. What in the world? I don't generally reach for those, but I don't know. We'll see how this one goes, because I love these narrators. I'm excited about this one. Okay, I just finished actually about 30 minutes of Come As You Are by Lauren Blakely, narrated by Andy Arndt and Sebastian York. And I went a little beyond because I wanted to get both perspectives. And it seems like I had tried that one before, but I really liked it. It's a millionaire romance, and so yeah, I think it's gonna be good. So yeah, kind of a toss-up between the first one and that one. Well, the next one is Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Jill Mansell, narrated by Alison Larkin. This one is a British chick lit. Yeah. Here's what the synopsis says. Dexter Yates loves his fun, carefree London life. He has money, looks, and girlfriends galore. But everything changes overnight when his sister dies, leaving him in charge of her 8-month-old daughter, Delphi. How is he ever going to cope? Oh, I like this already. Comic strip artist Molly Hayes lives in the beautiful Cotswold village of Briarwood. When it comes to relationships, she has a history of choosing all the wrong men. Leaving the city behind, Dex moves to Briarwood, a much better place for him to work on his parenting skills, and he and Molly become neighbors. There's an undeniable connection between them, but if Dexter's going to adapt, first he has to learn a lot about Molly, about other people's secrets, and about himself. Oh, this sounds so good. Man, I picked some good ones, didn't I? Okay, I'm going to give this one 15 minutes and we'll see if it's as good as I think it's going to be. Okay, 15 minutes or thereabouts of Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Jill Mansell, narrated by Alison Larkin. I love this book. It's delightful. Very British, but oh my goodness, I have a feeling that it's just going to get better and better. So, oh gosh. Okay, I'm going to move on to Collide. This is by Gail McHugh, narrated by Mary Kowal. Okay, here's what Goodreads has to say about this one. A missed first encounter, colliding with a second chance. On the heels of graduating college and trying to cope with her mother's death, Emily Cooper moves to New York City for a fresh start. While harboring secrets of his own, Dylan Parker takes care of Emily through her grief. Knowing he can't live without her by his side, he's a sweet, thoughtful, and everything Emily has ever wanted in a man. Until she meets Gavin Blake, a rich and notorious playboy who is dangerously sexy and charming as hell. Emily tries to deny the instant connection she feels, but Mr. Tall, Dark, and Handsome is not inclined to let go so easily. Recovering from his own painful past, Gavin will stop at nothing to win Emily over. This unexpected encounter compels Emily to question her decisions, forcing her to make a choice that will destroy friendships, shatter hearts, and forever change her life. Oh boy. This one sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like, but anyway, okay, 15 minutes of this one and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, Collide by Gail McHugh, narrated by, her name, I think is Mary Robinette Kowal. She's a fabulous narrator. Really like her narration. The story is kind of so-so. It's another billionaire. Why do I keep picking these billionaire ones? I don't know. I'd say it's not my favorite, but it's pretty good. So I will definitely listen to it at some point, but I don't think it's the one. Not this time, but maybe another time. Okay, my last one, which I'm going to listen to as I enjoy a glass of wine, is Forever and Always by Jasinda Wilder. This is narrated by Piper Goodev and Gabriel Vaughn. It is book 1 in the Ever trilogy. I am not going to read you the synopsis for this one because it's told in letters written between two people and their literary loves or something like that. I don't know, but it looks good. It looks kind of sweet, and so yeah, we'll see how it goes. Another 15 minutes. Okay, so Forever and Always by Jasinda Wilder, which is the Ever trilogy, book 1, narrated by Piper Goodev and Gabriel Vaughn. Like the narration a lot on this one. This is feeling very YA at this point because it's two kids that meet at an art camp, and he's from a whole line of cowboys basically, and she is a rich kid. So I don't know, they've just met and it's kind of cute. So I don't know. The combination of all of it, the whole idea and everything in the narration is okay. I don't love it. It's all right. It's I say I don't love it, but that doesn't mean if I didn't give it a little longer, I wouldn't really like it. So none of these really are ones that I think I wouldn't read. But the big ones, the big winners are Eversea, Come As You Are, and Don't Want to Miss a Thing. So, oh my gosh, I'm not sure. I don't know. So we've got Hometown Girl and a Movie Star with Eversea. That was really hard to stop listening to. And then Come As You Are, which is a billionaire story, which I don't think I want that one. And then Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which is the British one with the guy who is about to have to raise his niece. Oh gosh, that was so good too. I don't know what I'm going to finish. Maybe both of them, but I've got some really good choices here. I mean, those two. I think I'll go with Don't Want to Miss a Thing. I need something kind of light and fluffy after a book I read last week, which was really intense. So yeah, I think I'm going to finish that one, and I'll let you know how it is. Well, I finished Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Jill Mansell. This was narrated by Allison Larkin. And it was okay. You know, it took me a couple days to get through it because, oh, I don't know. I was doing stuff and my husband was home. And anytime he's home, he constantly wants to talk to me. And I like talking to him too, clearly. He's my husband. But, you know, stuff has been happening. Like I've had to have appliances installed. And my kitchen table, I've been painting that. And that was kind of a learning experience. By the way, chalk paint. Yeah. I have mixed opinions about that. That said, I did finish the book. And it's very British. It's very rom-com. I thought it was going to be about just two people, about a guy who was kind of a playboy, you know, in London, and his sister dies and leaves him her 8-month-old baby. And so then he takes on that responsibility. And a woman who lives in a very small town in England, and she is a cartoonist for like a syndicated cartoonist. Like she draws cartoons for newspapers and stuff. So she also teaches art classes, and I thought it was going to be just about them and their romance, but it's not. It's really an ensemble cast of people in the town and his good friend who lives in London, and there's a whole lot more going on. On the audiobook, there were a lot of times that the baby would make sounds, and so this narrator, Alison Larkin, would make those sounds. And so that was kind of cute, kind of irritating, kind of endearing, you know, all at the same time. Everything a baby is. So, I don't know. In the end, I think maybe the combination of it's a British comedy, so while I enjoy it on the one hand, it's a little bit different, and so it's like it takes a minute to get it. And so that, plus the fact that I had to stop and start a lot, kind of colored the whole experience for me. So I would say, 3-star read. You know, in the end, I kind of wish I'd picked another book, but I'm also glad I didn't. So this whole thing has been a study in contradictions, hasn't it? Let me just say, I've picked up Eversea, which was my second choice, by Natasha Boyd, narrated by, can't speak today, narrated by Georgina Marie and Jonathan McLean. I love this book. I love it. It's set in a small southern town on the coast of the Atlantic, just north of Savannah, Georgia. And it's about a girl who has had a lot of things happen in her life. And so she's very well liked. She's very sweet. She's very just down to earth, salt of the earth, you know? And there's a movie star that is on the run from a horrible situation in Hollywood that he had to escape from. He just had to put some distance between it and him and kind of figure his stuff out. So he happens into the bar where she works, and she is so enamored with him and fighting that within herself at the same time. Like, I am not going to treat this guy like a movie star. Like, he's just a person. Why do I keep, you know, why am I so unbelievably attracted to him? But he's just a person. There are times when she doesn't know how to react with him, so she just gets mad. And she's like, well, you were so rude, and you are so full of yourself, and I don't know how you thought fame was, you know, going to make you into this person that everyone would love. So he's so taken with her because she's so refreshing. It's just so cute. I was laying in bed listening to it last night, and I'm sure my husband was wondering what was going on because I would start laughing and the bed would start shaking. It was so funny. So funny. So anyway, I love this book, and I really am looking forward to finishing it up probably later today because he's gone. Yeah, and I get to do all kinds of things. Like right now, I get to go find a pipe to make my dishwasher hose hook up to my sink. Yeah, because that's my life. What can I say? Actually, I love that kind of stuff. So anyway, that was the Try a Chapter tag. A lot of success all over the place. And if you've read any of the books that I talked about, I would love to know what you thought of them, especially the one I finished, Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Jill Mansell. So let's talk about all that in comments, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.